Sometimes there's a guitar that captures your imagination. You've seen your favourite guitarists use them over the years. Over time, these guitars have influenced the way you play, the sound you want, and the style of guitar that you love to see. For me, it's the Mustang. So it's time I built my own signature model, the Custom Competition Mustang. Let's do it. Okay, welcome to the Guitar Manifesto channel. Hope everybody's well. I got this Squier vintage modified Mustang a couple of months ago. I did do a video on it, deciding what I wanted to do. Originally, I was thinking about making a Kurt Cobain competition Mustang signature model. To be honest, I've had Cobain Mustangs before, and I just really wanted to do something a little bit different. So I'm going to make my own Robster Guitar Manifesto signature Mustang. The history of this guitar, I don't really know a lot about it. It was basically spares or repairs. It plays, the pickups work and whatever, yeah, but it plays really bad. String action is way off. It needs a neck shim. The tuners are pretty much junk. This top one's bent and unrepairable, so I've got another set of tuners to stick on it. These are the vintage style, and the headstock decal's been sanded off and been sharpened in with God knows what. I'm going to sand that back to wood, smooth it out a bit, and then colour code the headstock and put a Robster decal on. Condition of this guitar, it is beat. It's got loads of dings, chips and scratches and all sorts. It's pretty nasty. Yeah, there's chips on the neck pocket and yeah, there's just dings everywhere. With the condition of all the hardware, I don't really want to replace everything, so I'm not worried about the relic look. So I'm not going to be filling all these holes in and whatever. I'm just going to smooth it off, give it a respray and stick back to that relic look. So the main colour I'm going to go for is this metallic purple. It's a Ford purple velvet metallic. You don't see many Fenders or Mustangs in a metallic purple, so I thought I'd do something a bit different. And on that theme of doing something different, I'm going to go for a surf green competition stripes. I'm going to keep it sort of relicked, so yeah, I'm just going to give it a good coating. Probably wear some of this away so it shows through again. There's just so many chips on it, and you know, I don't really fancy spending hours on it. I just want something that I'm going to use as a beater looking guitar. I think it will look pretty sweet. Electrics, I've got a hot rail. I'll put a link in the description below. This is just a budget hot rail, quite hot, so it should sound pretty decent. I'm going to replace the pots, but I'm going to put in 250Ks, purely for the fact that when Cobain upgraded pickup on his guitars, his guitar tech Ernie Bailey never replaced the pots, and I've played a few of them before, Cobain models, and I think they actually sound pretty decent, so I'm going to stick with these 250Ks. I've got the full size pot. I'm going to put in an orange drop cap. This is the 0.047 UF capacitors, so these always make a nice addition to the setup. Switchcraft output jack, I always like putting these in, get rid of the stock ones. I'll keep the neck pickup stock because that actually sounds pretty decent. I'll leave the switches as they are, so basically just going to put in a new pickup, change the pots, change the cap. Keep the stock bridge. These are pretty decent ones, these Squier vintage modified ones. The neck's going to need a shim on it, it needs raising up a bit. I think that's pretty much it. So what I'm going to do today is strip it all apart. So you know when something really simple, like taking the vibrato off, turns into an absolute pain in the backside. One of the screws was completely rusted in, the head sheared off, and I've had to drill around the screw, the thread part, and then I've just got it out. So, well, just about to get it out. Son of a goddamn. There you go. So an extra job, I've got to fill that hole in after. Okay, so taking the Mustang apart. Next job, let's get sanding. Okay, so I'm just using a fine sanding block. I'm just going to key the surface now. Alright, so I think that'll do for the sanding. Again, there's chips and what have you on it, so I'm not worried about it being 100%. It's going to be a relic guitar. Right, neck. Right, so onto the neck. I'm just going to be doing this headstock. So somebody's had a go at sanding that off before, so there's a bit of a dip in there. So I need to try and get this all uniform. Just going over the back of the headstock now. I just want to get rid of that gloss finish. Not really a big fan of it. Most of it's been sanded off anyway, so just going over it with just again a fine sponge sander. Time to mask it up. So I'm going to be obviously painting the headstock. So I want to go just above the little rosewood line there. Make sure you press the tape down really well, so you don't want the paint leaking under. And then, as careful as you can, go around all the edge of the headstock. Okay, and it is all covered up around the edge. So the paint will only go just on the front of the headstock there. So next thing, I'm going to wipe this down with a bit of white spirit, dry it off, same with the body, just get rid of all the oils and the grease and dirt that's on the top there. Just give it a quick wipe over and again do the body, and then we're good to paint. One more area I'll mask up on the guitar is the neck pocket, because I don't want it thickening up the paint and the neck not being able to go on, and also I'll cover up these little pieces there for the bridge. I'm not worried about the cavities at all, they don't matter, but yeah, just get the inside of there and just around the edge there. So I think we're ready to start painting. Right, so I've got my paint ready. I've got my makeshift paint booth using cardboard on the sort of walls and the bottom there on the table, just to stop spray going everywhere, and once I'm done with it I can just chuck all the cardboard in the bin. So I've got my paint warmed up, so it's recommended between 15 to 25 degrees Celsius. Very important to make sure the paint's up to temperature. Give it a good shake. I'm going to shake this for a good couple of minutes, make sure that, especially with metallic, just to make sure the metal flakes and hardener and stuff are all sort of mixed in well. So I'm just going to go over a couple of light coats for the first few coats and then go a little bit heavier as we go on. So we're going to do about 5 coats on this, but I'm going to start with the headstock first, just to make sure I actually like this colour, because obviously once it's on the guitar it looks completely different, but yeah, we'll go with the headstock first and then we'll do the body after. So that's the first coat done. I'll leave that for 10 minutes and I'll come back with another coat. Okay, so I've applied 5 coats and I think that should be more than enough. So now time to apply the lacquer. Same principles, I'm just using a clear lacquer. Make sure the paint's nice and warm. Thin coats, leave it to dry for 10 minutes in between, and I'm going to put 5 coats on. Okay, headstock done. Looking nice and shiny. Onto the body. I've filled in this hole. I filled these holes in because the screws are a little loose on them, So basically just used car filler, packed them out a little bit with some bits of wood deep inside, gone over it with filler, give it a good rub down, gone over the body with white spirit, and time to wax some paint on it. So exactly the same principle. Make sure the paint's warmed up, thin coats, 10 minutes apart, probably about 5 coats to do it. So I've got it connected to a rafter in the garage, bit of cable to this block of wood, again taped inside the cavity so I can hold this wood and flip it round. So I'm going to do the front, the back, and then work around the edges. So here goes. Let that dry for 10 minutes. So I've put on 5 coats, I've let it sit for about 48 hours. I've actually been waiting for some masking tape to do the thin lines on the competition stripe that I'm going to be doing next. So I'm just going to wipe it over again with a bit of white spirit, just get rid of any dust and crap in the air that's stuck to it since it's been sitting here, and I shall mask it up, ready for the competition stripe along the corner there. Right, so I've masked up the competition stripe. I basically eyeballed it. I didn't do any measurements, but it's all grunge and rock and roll. So yeah, masking tape. I've got the 3mm masking tape for the little stripes in the middle there, newspaper. I've cleaned it again with white spirit, got rid of all the dust, and I've tried to push down the edge of the masking tape as tight to the paint as I could, and I'm going to go about there and about there. So yeah, probably going to use about 3 to 4 coats maybe. I don't want the paint too thick, don't want to bump where the competition stripe is, so I'm going to try for 3 coats, give it 10 minutes in between. I'm just warming the paint up now, and yeah, what's the worst that could happen? Again, first coat, go pretty thin, comes out quite thick this paint actually. So we'll leave that to dry for 10 minutes and we'll come back with another coat. So I've just taken the masking tape off, ready for some clear coat, looking pretty darn good. See the old war wounds through the paint there, but that really doesn't bother me at all. This will end up getting a bit of a relic job on it, but yeah, that competition stripe looks really good. Really impressed with that. Nice contrast, surf green on there, metallic purple. I reckon we're ready to shoot it with some clear coat now. Up to this stage, about 5 coats of purple. I did about 4 coats of this surf green. That was more than enough. Again, I didn't want it too thick so it pops through the lacquer on the top coat, but it was looking pretty darn good, especially with that competition stripe. So again, warming the lacquer up, same principle as always, between 15 and 25 degrees, I'm probably going to shoot it with about 6 coats, but we'll see how it goes. Again, 10 minutes in between. Just make sure you shake your can up. Yeah, give it 10 minutes in between each coat. So let's stick some clear coat on and make her shine. Okay, so it's been a couple of days. I'll give it about 4 or 5 coats in the end. It's got a bit of tangerine peel and what have you, as you would expect with a rattle can finish. This is easy to get rid of. I'm not going to go mad on this one because it's going to be a bit of a relic job, so I'm not really that bothered about it. I want to get dings and chips on it eventually anyway. So yeah, if you really wanted to go to town on something like this, get some really fine grit sandpaper on a sanding block. Start off with something like a 1000 grit. Make sure the sandpaper's wet. Rub it all down till it goes matte. You get a nice even finish. Then go back with like 1200. Same again. 1500. Then go back with like a 1200 grit. Give it another coat so you've completely smoothed off all the paint. You've leveled off all the tangerine peel. And then go over with like a car polishing compound, like a really good polish, and then give it a lot of elbow grease and you'll get a nice smooth shine back. But again, I'm not really that bothered on this, so I'm just going to leave it as is. I quite like the look of it as it is. So the competition stripe I think looks pretty badass. Surf green on a metallic velvet purple. The headstock come out really good, which does look a bit lighter, so it just goes to show you, whatever, obviously I'm using the same paint, this looks a bit lighter than that, so whatever you're painting onto always comes up with a different finish. Again, this you can see like marks from where the logo was sanded away before, but again, I'm not that bothered about finish if I'm honest. It actually came out pretty darn good though. It's got a nice glossy sheen to it. Even with a bit of wet and dry, that wouldn't come up much better than that, but it does look pretty sweet. Got a nice vintage tint to the back of the neck. Now it's got the matte finish to that, so I'm digging that. I'm just putting some lemon oil on the fingerboard, give that a bit of a sheen up, and we're going to make a start putting some stuff back together. So I've been aging all the chrome hardware, as you can see. Give it a nice aged look, just get a bit of fine sand block. I use my usual fine sanding sponges and just go around in circles and whatever, and gives it a nice aged look. I think it looks pretty good. Takes a bit of the sheen off, gives it a bit of a brushed aluminium look, which I quite like. Pick guard. This is a stock one. Looks pretty sweet on the purple. But I've also ordered the mint green guard, so I'm going to try it with both. That's going to be here in a few days, so if I get it before I finish editing this video, I'll put it on. But if not, it'll be this one for now. So putting the tuners on, got these vintage style ones of a Squier vintage modified Stratocaster. I prefer the tuning buttons on these compared to the plastic Mustang ones. Just have a nicer look and feel to them, so let's get them fitted. I'm just putting a neck on. I'm putting a plastic shim in there, just a thin piece of plastic, just to raise the neck a little bit. So So first bit of the wiring, I'm going to put this pickup in. It's just going to be easier to put this on the guitar and then feed them through the cavity and then put this on after. This Andoer pickup, there's no wiring diagrams on the internet for them, but from what I can make out, the white is the hot, the black is the ground, the red and green are, you just tie them together and cover them up. So on the Mustang, basically just take the old wires off, put the new ones in, you know, like for like, hot for hot, ground for ground, and then again the same on there with the new pots. There's plenty of wiring diagrams on the internet for Mustangs. It's just your standard wiring, so I ain't gonna go into great detail about it. And then stick the cap in as well, so let's get cracking. One more thing, I've got no black wire left, so that's gonna be my hot, that's gonna be my ground. Okay, wiring done. Okay, so let's check the electrics. Yep, we're all good. That all works. So I'm gonna drill these little holes, put the screws back in, and put a set of strings on. And I think we're good to have a little test, see what she sounds like. So it's gonna crack on with that now. One last thing, the finishing touch. Yep, that's better. Alright, so we've got the Custom Competition Mustang all built and set up now. Just gonna plug it in, run through a few sounds with it. So I'll play a bit of clean and a rhythm. I'll go through the 4 different positions. So the thing I like about the Mustang, you've got your master volume tone control, you've also got these switches. So you've got your neck pickup, you've got your bridge pickup, you turn the switches in the middle, they're off. So you've turned one pickup on left or to the right, that's just basically that pickup on, same on that one. But this way it gets interesting, if you put them in the same direction, that's in phase. If you put them facing opposite directions, so it's like towards each other or away from each other like that, that's out of phase. So I'm going to go through different sounds, just playing through the different positions here. So I'll start with a bit of clean, and then I'll go into a bit of distortion after. So there you go, that was the Robster Competition Mustang, built from the ashes of a neglected Squier vintage modified Mustang. So I've upgraded the tuners, painted the headstock, put a Robster decal on, put some 10 gauge Fender strings on, painting it purple with a Competition Mustang surf green stripe there. Got the stock vibrato bridge, got this Andoer hot rail single coil size humbucker, got your stock switching, stock neck pickup, upgraded the pots and the output jack, full size pots, 250k, 0.047 orange drop cap, and yeah, it just looks pretty damn smart. So yeah, let me know what you think to the build, if you like the colour, you like the cool competition stripe, the perloid pickguard. Bonus edition, the pickguard just arrived while I was filming this. I ain't going to be fitting it today, but I'll give you an idea of what it looks like with the mint green guard on. So let me know whether you want to see that on the guitar eventually, just to give you an idea. Looks pretty cool along with the surf green stripe there. But yeah, let me know what you think to that, or whether you prefer it with a, ooh, squeeze that out there, a perloid pickguard. I think that's got a better contrast, but yeah, got the best of both worlds there. So yeah, let me know what you think to it in the comments below. If you enjoyed this build, please give the video a thumbs up. Again, let me know what you think to it in the comments below. I will do another review of this, plan to a backing track to give you a really good idea what them pickups sound like in the mix and whatever. Yeah, so keep an eye out for that. Let me know what you think. Mint green, perloid, and what you think to the colour combination with the purple and the surf green competition stripes. So I do like building guitars, and this is something pretty special to me. So yeah, hope you enjoyed today's video. Give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel to stay up to date on more builds in the future. Yeah, also check me out on Instagram, the Guitar Manifesto, and that will do for today. So thanks for watching, see you all soon, peace.